Welcome to Get Cooking at Maggie's Place. Today I'm making a light and delicious dish with linguine and Italian sausage. We're going to start with putting about a tablespoon of olive oil in our hot pan, and we're going to put in our Italian sausage. We're going to brown these up on both sides. And one side is already getting there quite nicely. Our sausage is nicely browned up. I turned down the pan to very, very low and added a half a cup of water. Don't do this while it's on high. It will splatter everywhere. Our sausage is looking great. The water has pretty much evaporated. So we're going to remove the sausage and set it aside. And we'll be cutting that up and adding it to our dish later. The next thing to go in our pan is going to be some already sliced mushrooms. We're going to add a bit of salt and fresh cracked pepper. Probably about a half a teaspoonful. Give that a little stir. We're going to cover them and let them simmer for a little bit while we cut up our vegetables. The vegetables we'll be adding to this dish is red pepper, some curly parsley, tomato, fresh basil, a garlic clove, and a very small onion. This dish reminds me of almost like stir fry, but with pasta. We're going to start with our onion and make slices, probably about 1/4 of an inch. Set that aside, and we'll run our knife down the other half. This is so easy, and it is such a quick dish. And I picked up a nice big red pepper today. It looks beautiful in this dish. I'm going to make a slice along the side and get rid of the seeds. Just to give you an idea, we also want to just put this in like 1/4 inch slices. When you get to a part that has the white, a lot of white on it, just go ahead and trim around that. I've cut up our red pepper lengthwise, and then I'm going to turn it and make them into bite-sized pieces. Let's grab a little pile and cut them in half. Next, I'm going to chop up my tomato. I just want to make this into little bite-sized pieces. You don't like the seeds, you certainly can remove them. Our mushrooms have now got a bit of color on them. They're softened. I'm just going to push them over to the side of the pan, and I'm going to go put in our onions and our red peppers and get them starting sauteing. This dish is quick, it's easy. Your friends, your family are going to love it. It's very light. I'm also going to add a little bit more olive oil. About another tablespoon. Stir our vegetables up a bit. And of course, we're going to add a little bit of salt to sweat out all the juicy flavor from the onions and the peppers. We'll put a cover on that and let them start steaming. I just love fresh basil. It smells so delicious. And what I've done is I've grabbed a nice handful of it, and I'm just going to fold it up. I'm going to take my knife, fold it up, take my knife, and I'm just going to make little slivers. This is going to be such a nice fragrance for our dish, and the flavor is just outrageous. I prefer using fresh basil in this. I also prefer using fresh oregano, but it didn't look as good as the basil today, so we'll be using dried oregano in place of that. You can't do Italian without garlic. I'm going to go ahead and smash that, and the peel comes right off. And then we're going to make some nice slices of our garlic, and that will be going in with our tomatoes. Our red peppers and our onions and our mushrooms have cooked up really nice. They're not soggy. They're just nice and soft. They still have a bit of a bite to them. And now we're going to add in our basil, our garlic, and our beautiful tomatoes. We're going to let this heat through, bring out all the deliciousness from the basil, and the tomatoes are going to release their flavor and their juice. This is coming along just beautiful. All I want to do really is just get our tomatoes softened up. They're releasing all their deliciousness. And we'll be adding our sausage and our parsley. I've chopped up our parsley and sliced up our sausage. We're going to add that to the pan. We're also going to add about a half a teaspoon of oregano. Give that a good judge. I've turned it down to low, and we're going to cover it and let it stay warm while we get our linguine ready. In our boiling water, I've put a good big fistful of linguine. That's going to be about a half a pound. I also put in a good 2 tablespoons of salt, and we're just going to let this boil up to al dente, about 8 to 9 minutes. And there we have it, beautiful sausage with red peppers, mushrooms, onions. You can smell the basil coming from this. It's so delicious. Over a nice plate of linguine. And what I like to do just before serving is give it a drizzle with some nice extra virgin olive oil and grate some nice Parmesan over the top. Isn't that lovely? I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and I hope you will try this dish in your home. And for more great family favorite recipes, be sure to go to MagiesPlaceCookbook.info.